Welcome back, guys. My name is Patrick. This is the Fanatic Rundown, and what a brutal end to tonight's game. The Edmonton Oilers fall 5-3 to the Dallas Stars. They had a 3-2 lead with around 5 minutes to go, and in a span of 24 seconds, the Stars tied at 3-3 and took a 4-3 lead. Tyler Seguin with an empty net goal finished it off. Dallas wins the game 5-3, and I was all excited to celebrate a big 3-2 Oilers comeback victory tonight. Hopefully a 4-2 with an empty netter, but it was not to be. The Oilers power play lets them down tonight. They really needed a power play goal. They had an opportunity, I think with about 8 minutes to go up 4-2, but the power play comes up short again. It's getting them the odd goal the last few games, so it's starting to come around, but obviously nowhere near being as lethal as it was for them at the start of the season, and it's letting them down right now. If the Oilers could have even just got one power play goal tonight, it would have made all the difference, but the Oilers getting sloppy towards the end there. I think you could see the tiredness coming in off the back-to-back. They were getting really sloppy. Stars get two odd man rushes, bury both of them. Mikko Koskinen, I don't really blame him on either of those goals. He did what he could, but like I said, they were odd man rushes. Dallas got their sticks free. They got the guys in position to put the puck in the net, and the Oilers cannot hold on to a one-goal lead with 5 minutes left in a hockey game. It's been a problem a lot for this team. They have trouble defending leads. They were doing it well for, it seemed like, quite a while, but it's one of those things that kind of since they had that bad stretch in December, it's kind of fallen off for them. They can kind of control it when they've got a multiple goal lead, but this team really seems to struggle with one goal games, even holding on to leads. I mean, they had a 4-1 lead on Detroit the other night. Detroit came back to tie that hockey game. So this wasn't really too similar to the Detroit game. But basically my point, the Oilers do have trouble hanging on to leads. This is a team that lacks the killer instinct. They again had penalty troubles tonight. The reffing, yes, refs were terrible once again. I really didn't mention it in last night's video for Colorado. But yes, the Oilers did get a lot of penalties, but some terrible calls. But some of the calls tonight were also the Oilers' own fault. So basically, penalty kill lets them down. Their power play lets them down. This team somehow needs to figure out their special teams because their special teams are costing them some of these close games. I don't want to complain too much. This team's played really well. They have points in 6 of their last 7 games. Next game, we're expecting to get back Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, which will be absolutely massive for both the power play and penalty kill. So hopefully getting Nuge back is the jolt that this team needs on both special teams. We should see the debuts of Brett Kulak and Derek Brassard, so hopefully those two guys will give the roster another jolt as well. The Oilers are playing against the San Jose Sharks, which should be a somewhat easier team. Not that they can take anyone lightly, but it's not the same right now as playing at Colorado and playing at Dallas, who are right in the heat of battle here. This Dallas Stars team, they can kill you if you give them too many opportunities, and we saw that tonight. The Oilers give them too many odd man rushes. They were too sloppy in the neutral zone, so it cost them tonight. On the positives, though, Kyler Yamamoto and Evander Kane both score again. Kane and Yamamoto have been the two most reliable Oilers lately. It's been fantastic seeing the heater they're on. Yamamoto, a nice tip off an Evan Bouchard blast in the first, gave the Oilers a 1-0 lead. So I don't know if this is the first game where the Oilers had a 1-0 lead and lost. So this might break their streak. They might have done it one other time too. Can't remember off the top of my head, but this could be the first game that the Oilers scored first and ended up losing the hockey game. Like I said, they had the 1-0 lead. Dallas came back, went up 2-1. The Oilers with the 2 goals in about 48 seconds, I believe, in the third, tied the game 2-2. Evander Kane with his goal tied the game 2-2. Leon Draisaitl gets a deflection in off his leg, put the Oilers up 3-2. But the Oilers blow it with under 5 minutes to go. 2 goals in 24 seconds for the Stars. And the Oilers couldn't get anything going with the goalie pulled, so the Dallas Stars pretty much, they put one off the post, and you could see it coming. The Oilers didn't have any sustained pressure with the goalie pulled, so it's a disappointing end for sure. The Oilers had the opportunity to walk away from Colorado and Dallas with 3 out of 4 points. Instead, they're going home to Edmonton with just 1 out of 4 points, so just no two ways about it. It's definitely a frustrating end to the night. But like I said, there were some positives. Yamamoto and Kane keep their hot streaks going. Connor McDavid got a couple assists. I believe they said on the broadcast he's on a 7-game point streak now. So the top guys are staying hot, but the Oilers need some more depth scoring. Derek Ryan was going hot there for a while for the Oilers, but Derek Ryan's cooled off completely. Jesse Puljujarvi, it's been great having him back, but he's had a couple good opportunities that he's passing it off when he should be taking the shots. So they got to be telling Jesse in practice, like, don't worry about being selfish. You got to get yourself going too. So hopefully Jesse starts taking those shots again, because he's got a great shot when he takes it. So want to see Jesse get going there as well. Like I said, overall, frustrating night, but let's get the boys back home on Thursday, get some reinforcements in, and hopefully the Oilers can come back with a strong game against the San Jose Sharks on Thursday. A couple news items from today that I wanted to touch on. Bob Stauffer mentioned on Oilers Now today that he thinks Kailer Yamamoto and Jesse Puljujarvi are both going to be signed to bridge deals. A lot of people want Jesse, especially on an 8-year deal, but that doesn't sound like it's going to happen. Sounds like it's going to be bridge deals for both those guys. I can see why they want to do that, because it would keep the cap hit down for now, and the Oilers, of course, have literally almost no cap space going into the summer. I think it was around $7 to $8 million they've got to spend, so if they can keep the cap hit on those guys down, it's good for the short term, but if Yamamoto and Jesse continue to break out, then you have another Darnell Nurse situation like you have right now, right, where you're paying Darnell Nurse $9.25 million, I believe, and you could actually be paying Nurse $7, maybe $8 million if you get him done earlier instead of all the bridge deals that they gave to Nurse. So don't know if it's the smart play here to be bridging those guys. Yes, you keep the cap hit down for now, but I don't know, those guys could really cost you in a few years if they keep growing, right? So it's a risky game to be playing there. I'm going to be taking a look at the Oilers' contract situation as the season ends, go over how they can fit everybody in. I know a lot of people want to see Evander Kane brought back, so see how the Oilers can manage to do that. I want to wait and see how the rest of the season goes, how everyone's looking come playoff time, and see how the Oilers finish at the end of the playoffs, and I think that'll give us a better idea of who the Oilers focus on keeping and who we might see leaving the Oilers this summer. I think definitely some big contracts need to be heading out the door. I'm thinking guys like Zach Kassian, like Tyson Barrie. I think the Oilers have to find a way to bring in cheaper options for those guys and put money towards players that they really want to retain going forward. But that's all from me for tonight, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys, and I'll see you soon. Take care.